So I figured since it had been a while since I'd uploaded a video, you guys might like to see where I'm at with my coil gun so far. So this is as far as I've gotten. You can see that it's pretty much fully physically built. We've got the trigger right here, obviously, the capacitor bank. This is a 63 volt, I believe it's around a 40 millifarad capacitor bank. This is the boost converter. These are the two coils. Each one has about 250 turns. These would be the photodiodes and laser diodes that detect the projectile. On this side will go the trigger circuit, which initially I had built this trigger circuit, but these MOSFETs weren't rated for enough current, so they actually burned out the first time I tried to fire it. So I built this new trigger circuit that I need to just put on there. This would be the discharge resistor. If you charge up the capacitors and then decide that you don't want to fire it, you can flip this switch and it'll slowly discharge the capacitors through this resistor. That's probably going to get mounted up here somewhere. Over here you see that we've got the Arduino, the control circuit, and then there's a screen that will give you the status of the gun. And then down here we've got a 3S LiPo battery that I scrapped from a laptop, and I included a battery protection circuit that's underneath this tape right here. So it's coming together pretty well. I just need to kind of clean up this wiring. Additionally, so you can see that I'm using a new boost converter circuit. This would be the original one from my video. This one can output more current. That was the problem I was running into with this old one, is that it couldn't charge the capacitors fully because the leakage current it couldn't keep up with the leakage current of the capacitors. Additionally, this one has you can adjust the current output of it, and it will give a feedback signal to the Arduino to tell it what voltage level the capacitors are charged to. It also has this blue wire here can turn the boost converter on or off. So once the capacitors are charged to a high enough level, the Arduino can turn it off so that you don't blow your capacitors. But yeah, so let's give this thing a shot. It can't fire yet. Like I said, I still need to work on the firing sequence in the programming, but I can at least show you where I'm at with the interface and everything. So if I plug this in, you'll see it turn on. And so now it says the state of the gun. It'll either say that it's idle, that it's charging, or that it's ready to fire. When it's ready to fire, this light will also come on. It reads the charge level of the capacitors. It starts at around 20% because the voltage from the battery is enough to charge the capacitors to about 20% without the boost converter. And then it tells you the voltage of your battery so that you know if it's time to, like, if your battery's running low or whatever. You can also see that the laser diodes have turned on. So whenever the gun is idle, if you pull this trigger, it'll start charging. You'll see the boost converter here turn on, and you'll see that the capacitor bank starts to charge. So first, let me just make sure that the bleed resistor is turned off. And so now if I pull this, let me focus on the screen. You also see right over here the boost converter turn on. So I'm going to pull the trigger. And then, so now it'll periodically turn the boost converter back on whenever it drops below 90%. So you see that the gun is ready to fire. As I said, currently there's no firing sequence implemented. You also, if I try to discharge it right now, it'll just keep trying to charge the capacitors. So to discharge it, I'll need to reset the Arduino so that it's not in charging mode. And then, so you see it's at 90%. If I flip the switch, you'll see that the charge drops. Now, lastly, we'll take a look at this, at the sensors. So, if I hook my multimeter up, this rail right here is the ground rail. and then I'll hook the positive lead up right here. So you see it's reading 5 volts from the photodiode. That's the laser shining onto the photodiode just beneath it. You can see the photodiodes right here. Is what's generating that 5 volts. This is the projectile that I'll be firing. Whenever this goes in here and breaks the beam, you see that the voltage drops. So that's how the Arduino detects where the projectile is. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting this thing working. You guys will see it as soon as I finish it. Have a good day.